So, Strange Lands kind of brought up to mind a trip that I took with my family last year. And basically, I'm just going to read this and see how it goes. Just a year ago, I was with my family taking a short grand tour of Poland, the homeland of my grandmother. My grandmother was forced to give up on during and after World War II. I'd only met a few of our distant relatives, and only one in Poland years ago. On this trip, we were going to visit a large chunk of our family during a reunion/birthday celebration. Early summer in Poland is a bit like our spring, crisp, 40 to 70 degree weather with a slight wind and a mist of rain. Buildings of Soviet-era status are in decline, dirty, and in rough shape compared with the buildings that date back to the Crusades. This is a rural farm town. This is where we're visiting the point, with just over half the population of Chattanooga. Yet, like most of Europe, it has an up-to-date mall with rail and bus connections. We stayed in an old hotel. American movies dubbed in Polish were played on the TV, but we were not there to watch such oddities. We were there to help celebrate. Babcia Zosia was 90 years old. She had no sight past the tip of her nose. Her ears were deaf to most sounds. A woman who in her prime was close to 6 feet tall now was bent over to just close to 5. Life under the Nazis and then under the communists had not been easy, yet she had persevered. And it was her birthday, and she had been misled. You see, my grandmother apologized months in advance that she would not be able to make this birthday celebration. She had called Zosia and told her that she was just too old to make the trip at 88 across the Atlantic. And for most 88-year-olds, that would have been the case. But we were there. So let me set the scene for you. We're in a German-style beer garden, and the weather outside of us is nice. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and out hobbles this old woman. She thinks that she knows everybody that's going to be there. She's, very happy just to be able to see her very extended family that she has. She has over 50. She's got about 50 people that are going to be there anyways. And then she sees my grandmother as we step out of the car, or she hears that somebody's there, somebody's special guest. My grandmother comes up to her and she shakes her hand. She says, "Zosia, it's me." And the tears that streamed from this woman's face were so imminent that you could not get past the point of not crying yourself, because they knew that this was probably going to be the last time that either one of them was going to see each other. They'd been torn apart by war, by years of fighting in different ways, and just politics in general. And here they were together. And Zosia grabs my grandmother's hand, and she's holding on to her, and she's got her cane in the other hand, and she's hobbling down towards out towards the beer garden. And my grandmother grabs onto me for support, because she doesn't think that she's going to have the ability to hold both of them up if either one of them falls, because it's one of those things. There's an easy way for one of them to break a hip. So anyways, we get inside. It's my sister, my dad, my mom, and my grandmother. Grandmother goes and sits right next to Zosia. They're holding hands the entire time while we're sitting at the banquet table. And my parents go sit near the rest of the adults, and we go to sit next to them, and the adults go, no, you do not sit here. Over there. And most of them, from our understanding, did not speak English, or at least they didn't want to act that way. So we go and sit next to our estranged cousins that we've never met before. And we start to, sit next to them. Only one of them speaks any English. So we're just trying to start conversation, be friendly, but it's awkward, it's weird. You've never met these people before in your life. And then they bring out a little bit of food, but then, just to kind of get everything livened up and broken down, they start playing some Polish polka and some Polish music. And we stand up and we start, we go up to the floor area, and we start dancing. And as we start to dance, and we start to hang out with each other, it starts to break down some of those barriers that we had left with each other because of the fact that we couldn't talk. The music of, the language of dance, the language of bodies, the language of just understanding who's right there in front of you and swaying to that rhythm together broke down enough barriers to where our cousins, who actually did speak English, could summon up the courage to say, hey, we need a drink. Because if we drink, then we're family. And then everything else goes out the water. And, so it was one of those situations where we go back to the table, they pour shots of vodka, because that is the big drink in Poland. And we drink, we eat, we dance. We dance again, we eat some more, we drink some more. And this goes on for hours and hours and hours. And a situation that started out awkward and weird and contrived started to feel like family. And you start to make those connections with those people. And I guess the only thing that I want to leave you guys with tonight is there's the Polish birthday song is 100 lat, 100 lat, niet via nam. 100 lat, 100 lat, niet via nam. 100 lat, 100 lat, niet via nam. Net Vietnam. So it's may you live 100 years. May you live 100 years. May you live 100 years. And drink some more.